Hey, thanks for stopping by Casks-n-Que, where whiskey and barbecue meet. I'm your host, Justin Lloyd, and once again I have with me my good friend, Henry Turner.
Hello.
This is the
fourth
episode of our Blanton series. So this one's a store pick out of Mississippi. Why don't you tell us about it?
So this particular bottle, I remember buying it from a gentleman who's no longer with us. His name is Austin Oliver. He was a great patron of the whiskey community in Northwest Mississippi. I remember I saw some stuff online, and he would do stuff with fantasy football. He would do stuff with, calling picks and winners and stuff like that. And you could actually win bottles. So I'm big into that. And when I saw that online, he was posting that on Instagram. He and I kind of connected. And when I was down there, he allowed me to buy this particular Blanton single barrel store pick from his store. And unfortunately, it was a couple of years ago. I believe Austin was about in his 30s. And decent in shape man, and unfortunately COVID took his life, and he's no longer with us. So that's one of the things I would say with all these Blantons that I've got is it's always a human connection that helps you get these bottles. And I will tell you, I'm still friends to this day with a lot of people in that community. We started a little Instagram chat, and we all keep up with each other, tell each other about stuff that's going on in Memphis. I've joined one of the fantasy football leagues there, so we've grown on from that. And so I think Austin would be very, very happy about that. But they called him Mayo. He was a great guy. I didn't know him long. I only knew him for about 3 months, and I would definitely say he was a whiskey mood in the community.
Well, sorry to hear that. Sounds like a great guy, Austin. Here's to you, buddy. All right, this one's kind of a golden color, straight up gold is what I would say. Real crisp looking. Henry's off camera. He can probably tell you the color better than I can.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing on this one. Oddly enough, it looks like it's a shade lighter than the Takata Red, so it's not as dark as that one. But of course, these are all single barrels and can vary just slightly.
Yep. Well, we go to the nose on this one. Mm-hmm. See what we get.
And this is my first time ever having a store pick blend. I've had pretty much most of the varieties you can get, but this is my first time getting into it, and we fresh cracked this for this particular episode.
It's funny, I used to, back when some friends and I used to get together, Tony, Steven, we'd talk about just creating our own store pick.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a big marketing ploy, like a huge scam. I was like, oh man, we could just get a hold of some bourbon and go up there and call it whatever we want, and then sell it for double the cost.
Well, you look here, believe it or not,
there's something to it.
There's some people that do that online. They can go find a way to get these labels and do that stuff. That's why I would say buyer beware. And if you're going to try to get a store pick, know where it came from. That's or at least try to get it directly from the store, because people can recreate these too.
Absolutely.
But what it really comes down to is you sit down and you either go to the distillery, or they will send you samples. From those samples, you get to choose the different flavor profiles and actually select the barrel that you want.
That's right. So store picks are legit. I mean, but you have to be careful on the secondary. And like you mentioned, the more you know about the origination of the whiskey, the better. So if it's from a reputable place and you can actually go in and talk to the owner, that's even better.
Yep. Now, for me, on this one on the nose, I get, this feels like if you took the Rick House from the 80 proofs and the sweetness and deliciousness from the Takata Red and put them together, that's what you're getting out of these. I feel like you're getting the intensified smell of that Rick House and all those sweet notes that we got off of the Takata Red, which we reviewed prior to this.
That's all right. That was episode 4, or this is episode 4. That was episode 3.
Oh, that's nice.
Man, lots of vanilla for me on this one.
You're
like
right.
Vanilla extract almost.
Yeah, very vanilla forward.
Yeah.
So get some of that nice fresh Rick House off of there too.
Yeah. A little bit of the oak spice, not as much spice for whatever reason, in my opinion, compared to the last one on episode 3.
All right, I'm ready to try this.
Let's do it.
Hot diggity dog. That's good. Oh, and on the very end, it's got that nice oak. That lovely oak. It just lingers on.
These are tears of joy. I don't think I've ever had a Blanton's 93 proof kick me like that.
Oh man, that's got some flavor.
I didn't respect it because I was like, it's Blanton's. Kind of, cowboyed it, and man, this one's really freaking good.
It jumped on you a little bit.
That's the best Blanton's I've ever had, I think. And that's even compared to when I've had the straight from the barrel. Because the one I had, I'm telling you the story about when I had COVID and got straight from the barrel. It brought me back to life. Not to get off topic, but this one is really freaking good. Just flavorful, like powerful for the 93. Packed full of flavor. Oh. I can't wait to get my score on this one. This one's good.
I don't want to call it. It's not a peanut butter cookie, but it's a brown cookie. It's like cookie dough with the sweetness and the vanilla, but with a tinge of the cinnamon in there. And then, the best way I can describe it is if you make cookies over a wood fire stove, and it picked up some of that influence on there, but it was delightful, not overpowering. But then it was just that deliciousness of the cookie, not like a chocolate chip cookie, but just the basic cookie dough.
You're right around where I am with the flavor profile. To me, it's graham cracker.
Yeah.
Graham cracker, not just graham cracker. What am I looking? S'more.
Okay.
The toasted marshmallow, the chocolate. There's not as much citrus in this one as what I'm used to. There's definitely vanilla on the palate and the spice, and it's 93 proof, but it drinks a little higher than that, I think. And that's going to bring some more to the table in terms of flavor profile. So I get that toasted marshmallow all day long. This one's really good. I wish the finish was a little longer.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. It's a little short on the finish.
Yeah.
It's not real mouth coating. There's a little bit of, I don't know, just kind of dissipates. And I wish it was a little more viscous and on the palate. It just doesn't last long. But it's dang good.
Yes. Delightful. I have yet to get a bad store pick from that store. Olive Branch Package Store in Northwest Mississippi.
That's him?
Yeah, that's him.
We used to chat on Instagram all the time.
That's him. Austin Oliver.
Austin.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Great
I
guy.
was going to ask you who it was. It's a packing store.
Yeah, Olive Branch Packing Store. And they still do.
And I've wondered over the years, I'm like, man, I used to see him all the time. Now he passed away.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Austin. Mm-hmm. We chatted privately several times, talked about going down there and hanging out and picking some picking some whiskeys up down there, and I never made it.
Yeah, I only knew him for 3 months, and I will tell you, it was a nice 3 months knowing the gentleman.
Yeah.
He was very welcoming and open, and let me join the group and let me join the chat. And I was in the NFL Pick'em. I was in the Fantasy Football League and everything else. And I still, to this day, keep in touch with some of the guys who were in that group.
When I saw that it was a store pick from Northwest Mississippi, that crossed my mind. But I was like, nah, surely it's not the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's him. That's unbelievable. Well, not to get too religious or anything, but I probably have a good idea that Austin's watching over us on this one and probably has a big smile on his face.
Wouldn't doubt it.
All right, well, we're going to give this a rating.
So I will talk to you a little bit about the price on this one. The price was solid. I believe this is $90. So, but now we got to talk about availability. We're talking about Blanton's and then store pick Blanton's. So, unfortunately, even though he had it at his store, and I think he split this barrel with another store, I would still have to put the availability pretty low on this one. 5 is generous because you got to find the Blantons and you got to find the store pick Blantons.
Right.
So that would be a 5 there. The price on this thing, fantastic at $90 for what I got it for, and it should be right around there if you have a store that's willing to work with you. So this one on the price, I'd probably put it at an 8 or a 9 because this is actually a really good single barrel. And then the flavor profile, what's inside the bottle, 8. So this one, to me, I would put this right at an 8. I thought about 7.5, but I would put this as an 8 for the entire experience if you can get a hold of a single barrel store pick from a store that you trust that does great single barrel store picks.
Trying to stay true to what my Blanton's review was that I did a couple months ago. I can't remember what the score was. I want to say I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
But this is the best single barrel Blanton's I have ever had. All things considered, Henry brought everything up that, that you can't find it, yada, yada, yada. I'm an 8.5.
There you go.
Man, that is, considering what it is, so for me that matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've had bottles and bottles and bottles of Blanton's. I've had it before it was cool to have. That's the best one I've ever had.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing it with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yep. Hey, if you don't mind, go ahead and like, subscribe, and smash that bell. It's the best way to support our channel. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next time.
Drink more Blantons.